Did you know Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world combined? That's right, folks. Canada is practically swimming in lakes, with over 2 million of them dotted across the country. That's a lot of potential skinny dipping spots, eh? So whether you're a passionate paddler, a fanatical fisherman, or you just like to gaze upon a serene body of water, Canada's got you covered. So if you're a fan of lakes, Canada might just be your paradise. But let's dive into some more interesting things you can and can't do in this unique country. Canada is a playground for outdoor enthusiasts. From coast to coast, this vast country offers countless opportunities for adventure and exploration. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie or a peaceful nature lover, Canada's great outdoors has something for everyone. Let's start with hiking. Canada's national parks are brimming with trails that cater to all levels of experience. You can spend a sun-drenched afternoon strolling through the lush forests of British Columbia, or challenge yourself with a vigorous trek up the rugged peaks of Alberta's Rocky Mountains. Just remember, when you're out there surrounded by nature's grandeur, it's crucial to stay on marked trails. Straying off the path could lead to damaging the environment or disturbing the local wildlife. Speaking of adrenaline, how about some skiing? Nestled within the Rockies, Whistler and Banff offer some of the world's best slopes for snowboarding and skiing. But remember, these mountains aren't just for thrill seekers. They're also home to diverse wildlife, so it's important to avoid areas marked as animal habitats. Or perhaps you'd prefer to paddle your way through Canada's waterways? From the tranquil lakes of Ontario to the majestic fjords of Newfoundland, kayaking is a great way to explore Canada's diverse aquatic landscapes. Just remember, the water is a shared space. Respect other users, and avoid activities that could pollute the water or disturb aquatic life. But while you're out there, soaking in the beauty of Canada's great outdoors, there's one thing you mustn't do: litter. Whether it's a candy wrapper or an empty water bottle, always dispose of your trash properly. And remember, feeding wild animals is not just discouraged, it's illegal. These creatures are wild for a reason, and human food can cause them harm. Remember, while exploring the great outdoors, always respect the environment, leave no trace behind. This isn't just a mantra for hikers and campers, it's a way of life. Because in Canada, the great outdoors isn't just a playground, it's a treasure. And like all treasures, it's our duty to protect it. If you're a foodie, Canada has a lot to offer. This vast country, spanning 6 time zones, is a melting pot of cultures, and this diversity is deliciously apparent in its cuisine. From coast to coast, you'll find a tantalizing array of dishes that reflect Canada's multicultural fabric. In the bustling cities of Toronto and Vancouver, you can explore a world of flavors, from Chinese dim sum, Italian pastas, Indian curries to Middle Eastern shawarma. But it's in the local specialties where the true Canadian culinary landscape shines. Begin your gastronomic adventure in the maritime provinces, where the seafood is so fresh, it's practically still swimming. Lobster rolls, mussels, and clams are a must-try. Move westward and you'll hit Quebec, the birthplace of poutine, that glorious concoction of fries, cheese curds, and gravy. And of course, you can't forget about the sweet liquid gold that is Canadian maple syrup. In the prairie provinces, take a bite out of a Saskatoon berry pie or try a bowl of hearty bison stew. And when you reach the Pacific coast, be sure to indulge in some freshly caught salmon, smoked to perfection in a traditional First Nations style. Now, let's talk about drinks. Canada is a haven for beer lovers with a thriving craft beer scene. From hoppy IPAs to robust stouts, there's a brew for every taste. And for the wine connoisseurs, the vineyards of Ontario and British Columbia produce some top-notch vintages. But remember, drinking laws in Canada are strict. The legal drinking age is 19 in most provinces. But in Alberta, Manitoba, and Quebec, you can raise a glass at 18. So, if you're under the legal age, you'll have to stick to Canada's excellent selection of non-alcoholic beverages. With its diverse culinary scene, Canada can satiate any palate. Just remember to respect the local drinking laws. Whether you're a food adventurer or a comfort food lover, Canada's food and drink scene is sure to leave you with a satisfied smile and a full belly. Canada is a bilingual country with English and French as official languages. It is a rich tapestry woven with threads of diverse languages and cultures, The importance of language etiquette in Canada cannot be overstated. It's not just about understanding and being understood, but it's also about showing respect and appreciation for the country's cultural diversity. In Canada, though English is widely spoken, the French language also holds a significant place, especially in Quebec. In fact, Quebec has a special status as a predominantly French-speaking province. The use of French is not just common, it's strongly encouraged. So if you're planning a trip to Quebec, having a few French phrases up your sleeve would be a good idea. Now don't worry if your French is a bit rusty. Canadians are known for their politeness and patience. They appreciate any effort made to communicate in their language. A simple bonjour or merci can go a long way in melting the ice and earning you a warm smile. It's also worth noting that in some parts of the country, such as New Brunswick, you'll find communities where English and French coexist harmoniously. Bilingual signs and services are a common sight in these areas, so no matter where you go in Canada, having a basic understanding of both languages can enhance your experience. However, if you're worried about language barriers, fear not. Canadians are incredibly welcoming and will go out of their way to help you. They understand that language is just a tool for communication, and it's the intent that matters most. So, whether you're fluent in English, trying your hand at French, or even communicating through gestures, don't hesitate. In the end, language etiquette in Canada is about more than just words. It's about understanding and embracing the spirit of multiculturalism that lies at the heart of this beautiful country. It's about connecting with the people, their culture, and their way of life. So, whether you're speaking English or attempting some French, Canadians appreciate the effort. Language barrier, no problem. Remember, the most universal language is a genuine smile and a respectful attitude. When in Canada, tipping is more than just a nice gesture. In the land of the maple leaf, tipping is not just a demonstration of appreciation, it's a social norm. It's a way to acknowledge the effort and service provided by those in the hospitality and service industries. In most parts of the world, tipping may be seen as discretionary, a little extra for exceptional service. But in Canada, tipping is often expected, and failing to do so may be seen as a sign of dissatisfaction with the service. Let's dive into the specifics. In restaurants, it's standard to tip between 15 to 20% of the total bill before taxes. This is a way to acknowledge the service provided by your waiter or waitress. It's important to know that in some establishments, particularly those with larger party sizes, a gratuity may be automatically added to your bill, but tipping doesn't stop at restaurants. In hotels, it's common to tip bellman, housekeeping staff, and concierge. A general rule of thumb is 1 to 2 Canadian dollars per bag for bellman, and a similar amount per day for housekeeping. The concierge, who often goes above and beyond to make your stay comfortable and enjoyable, could be tipped $10 to $20, depending on the level of service provided. And let's not forget about taxi drivers, hairdressers, spa therapists, and tour guides. They too appreciate and expect a tip. The amount can vary, but 10 to 15% of the total service cost is a good benchmark. Tipping is a way of saying thank you, a token of appreciation for the service provided. In Canada, it's part of the culture and an important source of income for many workers. It's not obligatory, but it's certainly appreciated and more often than not expected. And remember, cash is king. While card payments are widely accepted, cash tips are always appreciated for their immediacy and certainty. So, when in Canada, don't forget to tip. It's not just polite, it's expected. Canada is home to an array of wildlife, a statement that resonates with the heart of every nature lover. But what does it mean to encounter these magnificent creatures in their natural habitat? In the vast stretches of Canadian wilderness, you might stumble upon a grizzly bear fishing in a river, a moose grazing in a meadow, or even a playful pod of orcas off the Pacific coast. These encounters can be breathtaking, offering a glimpse into a world untamed and unspoiled. But let's remember, these are not scenes from a movie or a trip to the zoo. This is the real world where the wildlife is just that, wild, and with that comes a certain level of responsibility. One of the most vital rules when it comes to Canadian wildlife is do not feed the animals. It might seem harmless, even kind, to offer a snack to a squirrel or a piece of your sandwich to a bird, but it can have serious consequences. Feeding wildlife can make them dependent on humans for food, disrupt their natural feeding habits, and can even lead to aggressive behavior. Equally important is maintaining a safe distance. It's understandable to want to get a closer look at a bear or a moose, but these are powerful creatures that can be unpredictable. Approaching them can be dangerous, both for you and for the animal. In Canada, respect for wildlife is not just a courtesy, it's a law. Harassing or disturbing wildlife is a federal offense, and for a good reason. These laws are in place to protect these magnificent creatures and their habitats. So, when you're out exploring the great Canadian wilderness, remember to bring your camera and leave your snacks at home. Enjoy the wildlife from a distance, and let them go about their day, uninterrupted and uninhibited. Remember, while the wildlife is beautiful, it's also wild. Keep a safe distance and respect their space, because at the end of the day, we are guests in their home, not the other way around. Canada has some interesting laws that might surprise you. This vast nation, known for its politeness, maple syrup, and stunning landscapes, also carries a plethora of unique laws that might leave you scratching your head. Let's start with the wilderness. Canada's national parks are a treasure trove of natural beauty. But if you're thinking of dashing through the snow on your noisy snowmobile, think again. To preserve the tranquility of these protected areas, noisy snowmobiles are strictly off-limits, so you'll need to find a quieter way to traverse these snowy landscapes. Moving on to the animal kingdom, Canada has a law that might shatter some dreams. If you've ever fancied having an exotic pet like a cute raccoon or a majestic moose, you'll need to pump the brakes. In Canada, you can't keep exotic pets without a permit. This law is in place to protect both the animals and the public. So, if you've been daydreaming about adopting a pet moose, you might need to settle for a more conventional companion. In the realm of the quirky, did you know that in British Columbia, it's against the law to kill a Sasquatch or Bigfoot? While we're yet to have definitive proof of these mythical creatures' existence, they're already protected under law. So, if you happen to stumble upon one, remember to keep your cool and your distance. And if you're in Ottawa, you might want to hold off on those late-night coin-flipping sessions. In Canada's capital, it's illegal to publicly flip a coin after 9 p.m. This law might seem odd, but it's just one example of the unique local regulations you might encounter across the country. Every country has its unique set of laws, and Canada is no exception. As a traveler, it's always important to familiarize yourself with the local laws and respect them. After all, they're there for a reason. So if you're planning to snowmobile through a national park or adopt a pet moose, you might want to reconsider. So there you have it, a glimpse into what you can and can't do in Canada. We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's take a moment to look back at the highlights. We started our journey with an unusual fact about Canada, a country that's as fascinating as it is expansive. Then we dived into the great outdoors, where Canada's natural beauty is on full display. From the Rocky Mountains to Niagara Falls, Canada's diverse landscapes offer a wealth of outdoor activities for every type of adventurer. Next, we savored the flavors of Canada, exploring the diverse food and drink scene. From poutine and butter tarts to craft beer and ice wine, Canada's culinary culture is as diverse as its population. Then we navigated the nuances of language etiquette. Remember, Canada is a bilingual country with English and French as its official languages. So learning a few phrases in both languages will not only help you get by, but will also earn you some brownie points with the locals. We also delved into the tipping culture in Canada. Tipping is customary here, and knowing when and how much to tip can make your experience smoother. Our journey then took us face to face with Canada's wildlife. We learned about the do's and don'ts when encountering wildlife, ensuring that both you and the animals stay safe. Finally, we touched upon some of the Canadian laws. Laws may vary from province to province, so it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with the local regulations before you visit. But remember, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Canada is a country full of surprises, with each city, town, and province offering its unique charm and experiences. So whether you're a nature lover, a foodie, a culture vulture, or an adventure seeker, Canada has something for everyone. Now it's your turn to explore this beautiful country, but remember, the best way to experience Canada is to respect its people, its culture, and its environment. So go ahead and plan your visit, and let Canada surprise you with its warmth and beauty. If you've enjoyed this video about Canada, why not give this video a thumbs up? Your likes guide us in creating content you love. And if you're already a part of our community, thank you. If you're new here and you found value in this video, consider joining the family. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to ensure you never miss out on a new video.